Sec. Hi, this is Tammy from Singles Travel International, and I am presenting tonight and meeting all of the travelers on our South Africa single safari with Cape Town, the Winelands, and Safari. So it's going to be an amazing trip. It is the kind of trip that we do regularly because it is so popular and so life-changing. So we're going to be talking about some of the questions that our members have and sharing this with those that couldn't show up, and also just getting them prepared for a trip. This is what we do with all of our vacations. So we did a little bit of introduction before we got started, and now I'm going to open up and see what questions come up first from the group that's going. So you guys, it's up to you. If you have a question that you'd like to have answered, anybody can start.
So go ahead.
I was going to say I have several, so I don't want to dominate it. You know, guys always talk over, and I'm seeing.
No, go for it.
All right. The first one is: are we going to be the only people kind of in the group or in the bus on the tours through the wine country and all that, or are we going to be joining another group?
Yes, no, with Singles Travel International, we are exclusively single when it comes to our tours.
Good.
When we are on board a cruise ship, or of course inside the hotel, we'll be part of a larger population. But when it comes to our vehicles and our guides, you guys will have exclusive our group only.
Okay, and the guide's Chris still, right?
Yes, Chris is going to be your guide.
Okay, is he going to join this call by any chance?
No, he is in Africa right now, and so it's
about 2 a.m. now.
middle of the night for them. But what I've got here is a notepad. So I keep notes of anything that I'm not able to answer, as well as anything that I think is going to be helpful for him to know as your guide. And I share that with him after tonight's meeting. So I'm taking notes.
All right, here, let me hit you with just a couple more, and then I'll pause and let other people, and I'll pepper it in some more. So the cheetah experience that we're going to on the 16th.
Yeah.
I took the liberty of kind of checking out their website, and I noticed they have a VIP cheetah experience for up to 10 people, and we're only 8. That gives you a half hour with the cheetah and 2 handlers, so you can take pictures, probably pet him, all that stuff. And it sounds like a lot of money. It's 4,400 Rand. Well, I looked that up. That's under 250 bucks. And that's for all 10 of us, you know, up to 10 people can go. And I didn't know if that's already included or if we want to book that. So I want to talk to you about it, Tammy, and just see, because I'd like to pet a cheetah and get a picture with one.
You're going to pet a cheetah. It's already part of your package.
You've already got it? Okay, well,
Yeah,
I need to let them know.
That's going to be part of the package.
Yay.
Actually,
Yay, great.
And by the way,
great.
just a little plug, if you don't mind, when whoever does Facebook, just hashtag Singles Travel International so that it comes up on our end and I can see it and I can share it with our other members, because that's like one of the best things that, you know, they get to live vicariously through you, and they get to see all these animals and how amazing it is. And I mean, you know, of course we want people to go on vacation with us, but it's really inspiring. This is one of those trips that'll be life-changing for you. And so we have 25,000 singles who are sitting there saying, I want to do this someday, but for some reason or another, you know, they hesitate. As you guys all know, you had different reasons for holding back on this dream vacation. So please hashtag us with any of your animal pictures, because people will really, you may move somebody. And whether it's with us or another company, that's okay. It's the most important thing that they actually get up and do it. So
that's hashtag Singles International on your Facebook.
Travel International on your Facebook. So if you put a picture up there, hashtag Africa, hashtag elephant, hashtag giraffe, all that fun stuff that people are searching, and then hashtag Singles Travel International.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, one more animal question, then I'll let other people. So we're going to go to Boulders Beach, okay, as part of the tour. And that's where all the little penguins are that you can really get up close to. Are we going to be allotted time to get in the water and swim and chase some of them or do whatever?
You're
what?
not, no, you won't swim with them, but you will definitely, you'll be on the beach, you'll be very close, you'll be next to them, you can take pictures, you'll be able to do that, but you won't be in the water with
We won't get in the water. Okay.
Can we
But you can
touch it?
ask Chris. I've done the trip 3 times. Nobody ever got in the water with them, but ask him, just say, I'd like to, and I'll give him a little note to let him know there's a heads up. And I'm gonna tell him that you want to swim with penguins. So maybe, aren't you doing the shark dive? Are you doing the shark dive early?
Yeah, and I'm gonna do that before we go on it. So yeah.
Right,
yeah.
so
I
maybe,
might get enough of water during that. I don't know. You just never.
I mean, you know, you can, maybe there's, I don't know. Well, so I'll make a note to Chris, but you're there early. Let them know that that's on your bucket list and let's see if
Okay.
that's possible. I don't
Do
know.
you need a wetsuit for that? Excuse me, this is Cindy. Do you need a wetsuit to do that, to go with the penguins?
We're not swimming with penguins. Gordon asked about it.
I know, but I mean, if you did, I'm just curious, is the water real cold there?
It depends on how long you're gonna go in the swimming for, you know, but like he's gonna shark dive, so he's gonna wear a wetsuit for the shark dive.
Are we gonna get to watch that?
No, he's
Well, they're
going,
gonna video it.
going
I'll
in
show you the
early.
video when I get there. So
Yes, but you'll have, yeah,
Okay.
I'm
right.
just hoping there's no blood in the video. That's all I'm hoping.
Can we touch the penguins? Are we able to touch them or just,
That's a
no,
good
that-
question.
I don't want to
I'm
do
gonna say
anything.
no. I'm gonna say no. You're not gonna be able to touch the cheetah because they're rescued and they're, you know, in an environment that's designed for that. But this isn't zoo. All of this is wildlife. It's not zoo. So you're not really gonna be able to touch those animals. Okay. There's another place for giraffes, but that's in Kenya, not in South Africa. So you're not really going to be touching the animals. Sorry, but they're really.
No, you know, I would rather
Please
protect them.
don't.
Yeah.
Want you to come back whole.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
great question.
have a
And you know,
I-
yeah,
Yeah, one is like I was reading the form. So like when we tip at the hotels, like for the staff, do we tip when we leave or do we tip day by day?
you can really tip at the end. You can give the tip to Chris at the end and he'll take care of everything for you.
Oh, even the hotel staff?
Well, if you're going to tip, are you talking about like if you want to tip somebody who takes your bag to your room, for example, that would just, you can just do that if you'd like. But I mean, in terms of your dining, it's always included.
Oh,
You're
okay.
gonna be with Chris, so it's really just tipping Chris, and Chris will divide it between in our letter, of course, and I can go over this in a little bit. It tells you exactly how to do the tipping. So
Okay.
you're really just gonna give it to Chris at the end. So
Okay.
unless you want to give, I mean, some people leave money for the maid. Some people, you know, when they, if nobody most people carry their own bags these days. Do you want to give a bell person $1 a bag? Or you want to leave money for the maid, that's up to you, but it's not necessary. I mean, as Americans, we tip more than anybody else in the whole wide world. The dollar compared to the rand is favorable to us, so you're gonna feel like you have more money than you do, so which is a great thing. But most of the tipping's included. It's really just give it to the guide and Chris will divide it from himself, the drivers, and when you're in the lodge, he'll make sure that the trackers and the rangers get what they were supposed to get to. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So I have kind of it's more of a technical question about the type of bag. You guys say that we need to bring a duffel bag. I already have a planned suitcase that I was going to bring for all my stuff, but now I'm reading that you guys want us to bring a duffel bag of some sort rather than the suitcase. Is that what I'm understanding? Or
Yes, I mean, it should be on the frequently asked questions for the website as well as the letter that we just gave to you. When you're traveling on the small aircraft, wait till you guys see, when you fly up to Skakuza, it's a tiny aircraft. So if everybody has a big hard case, first of all, if the weight and balance is off, then your bag can be left behind and sent later. I'm just saying that's a worst case scenario. If you like your bag doesn't fit with all of the passengers that are getting on board that plane because they're small aircraft. The big aircraft, they do weight and balance also, but it's not so, there's a bigger volume of bags that they can take because it's a jet, right? But you're going to be on a tiny aircraft that might hold, I mean, you guys might even be on 2 aircraft as far as I know. And so maybe they're going to, put on 5 bags, 1 per person. So the bag that we gave you is descriptive of what that airline needs to load. So if everybody brought something that was bigger or not a duffel bag, the reason for the duffel, by the way, is so that it's formable. So when they put it into the compartment, they can squish it around a little bit, right? If they can fit a bag and then they put another one on top and they can, bend it a little bit. But if you've got this hard case and everybody has a hard case, it might not even fit into the belly of the aircraft. So what's going to happen? It will stay behind and they would send it on the next plane. So it's just in your best interest to have the size that's recommended and to use a duffel bag. So that's the recommendation. And if you have something that's larger than the recommendation, it's not a good idea to bring that. So you can have your hand carry, and then you have 1 check bag that has to conform with the dimensions that the airline requires.
But we're going to use that as our bag on the smaller planes too. So we really need to make it a duffel. Right?
It's the only bag that you can bring, right? So even though
So it's a soft, it has to be soft material.
soft
Yeah.
material that can be squished, but
Let
if
me
it
tell
has,
you what this one is,
if
Tammy.
it has a border, right? If there's a border and it doesn't have
Got a
flexibility.
hard case. Will that not work?
Yes, no, that's okay because it's got that soft, that's okay, Gordon. That's okay because it's got the soft top that even though it's filled, it's got some flexibility to it. But if you
Okay.
have a bag that's got 4 strong borders and it's a big
Yeah.
square, it just makes it harder for them to pack. And so, like I said, they're not going to ruin your bag or
Right.
charge you more. They will leave it behind, worst case scenario, and you'll get it later. Right? So you may not want that to happen.
Well, yeah, that was one of my questions. I'm glad you brought that up, Kelly.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't want to find out once I get there. Because they're not going to have a Walmart or somewhere to go buy a bag. That's going to be a really hard thing to
Yeah,
do.
I'm going to have to buy
Well,
something.
you'll have to leave stuff behind. So,
Yeah.
and that's one thing, Tammy, it's been a while since I hit the link to the baggage, but it was also in metrics. So just everyone pay attention to the dimensions and you're going to need to convert them and the weight as well, because those are two
Okay.
big things when you're talking about little planes. If you're over that, either they got to throw a person overboard or a bag overboard, and it's
Right.
I got it.
likely gonna
Um,
be a bag and the biggest one. So,
So it sounds like I need to do something else, but what I was planning on doing was a soft-sided carry-on bag, the size of a carry-on bag. Is that not good?
Yeah, a carry-on. I'm gonna share my screen right now because it's on the frequently asked question. And it's also in the letter that we sent you guys. Let me get rid of
Yeah.
this for a second. Here, so let's take a look at this. So and the dimensions are here converted for you. So what is the luggage? This was there, all along. And it's 1 suitcase per person that is soft duffel bag that does not exceed 20 kilos, which is 44 pounds. So that's still okay. I mean, I think you should be able to pack for 10 days with 44 pounds if you mix and match your colors. And I'm a fan. I don't even do anything that I don't roll up. It's all rolled in my bag. And bring things that, bring a little bit of a little laundry detergent so you can hand wash small things. They'll have laundry available for you. You're just not in any of the places for a long time. So you're not going to do laundry. You would send it out for cleaning, but you can have that done. So if you don't feel like, washing things out and messing with that, don't worry. You can have the hotel. They're all 5-star places. They'll do your laundry for you. But it has to be in these sizes so that it fits on the aircraft. So here, it's 35 inches by 28 by 17. So get out a ruler or a tape measure and measure your bag. And if it's within those dimensions, then you'll be okay. And then here we have a little bit of a view here to see, sorry if I'm a typo there, but there's an image of the bags. I'm going to see if it'll link through for you right now. So it's kind of a typical.
That's a hard bag. That's a hard suitcase.
Yeah, that is a
Yeah,
hard
that's what
suitcase.
got
It's
me
just like mine,
confused.
and mine's not a duffel bag.
Yeah.
That's exactly what my suitcase looks like.
Okay,
So,
so this is from Airlink. So this is the airline, right? And we just
Uh-huh.
recommend the soft bag so that if they all fit, it's better if there's some of
Gotcha.
them are soft but if yours is if it complies with these dimensions and looks like this, you're okay. Okay.
gotcha.
Mine's not a hard pack, but it's a normal suitcase that people
Yeah,
people have.
could you
with
go
some-
up to the first picture, Tammy? The picture above that you look, the first one there, that one.
Mhm.
That's what
Yeah.
everybody has in the airports nowadays,
So-
and
so,
that's a
yeah.
hard suitcase.
I'm still going to
Mine's better.
strongly recommend that you get a tape measure out and that you
I did,
measure
yeah.
your bag and make
Yeah.
sure it fits into these dimensions.
Yeah, my hard bag was definitely within those dimensions and the weight, but but it's not a duffel bag. But you
Yeah,
know,
that's a-
honestly, I appreciate the conversation because I know that if mine gets left behind and then it gets delivered later, I'm okay with that.
So everybody's clear about the baggage. And I know the hardest part is your like shoes, right? So and by the way, I'm going to talk about weather for just a second. They're going into their fall season. So it's going to be mid 70s, high 70s in the daytime, sunny, beautiful days for safari. In the nighttime, it could be in the 50s, low 50s. It'll be chilly, and you will be doing early morning drives and late evening drives because that's when the animals are active. So you'll be getting up before the sun comes up. So, early morning chill. And then you're going to go for sundown. And so you'll be still driving around in the dark and it'll be chilly. So bring warm weather things. So bring some warm shoes or like hiking boots. And then not that you need hiking boots because you're not necessarily hiking, but they're kind of nice. Then you wear those on the plane so that you're not having to worry about pack those shoes in your suitcase because by the time you pack them,
So the bottom line is pack very light and you can always have your clothes washed at the hotel.
Yes, you sure can. And layers is important. You hear that in a lot of descriptions for vacations, but because you're going to start out in the morning in the dark, you'll be chilly. So like Manya's got a nice, flannel on it, see like a little jacket. You could start out in the morning and then have maybe a long t-shirt or a fleece under that with a t-shirt under that. So you can start stripping it off as the day because you'll come back for breakfast around 9:30. And so you're going out at like 5:30, you're getting breakfast at 5:30, you're out for sunrise, which is gorgeous. And then you're going to start taking off your layers until you go back from breakfast. And the same thing in the evening, you'll be putting on your t-shirt, but bring your jacket and your fleece, your hat, if you're going to wear a hat and a scarf. And that way you can be out there because you don't want to miss a thing, right? You're not going to want to go back like, I'm too cold, right? So, yeah. So wear your biggest, clunkiest shoes on the plane, bring warm socks. I would say a jacket, a fleece / sweater / long sleeve sweatshirt, and a couple t-shirts so that you can do that layering. When you're further south in Cape Town and Stellenbosch, it'll be warmer in the days. You won't be out late at night. You'll be having dinners and then go back, and we have a vehicle for you. So it's not like you're out in the open air at night, but definitely while you're on safari, you want to make sure you're warm enough so you're not focused on being freezing and missing all the good stuff. So
Tammy, I don't know if this is just overkill, but I was reading a lot of different sites where people talk about what they wear on safaris. And I even went to see what, people said about the Jock Lodge. Some people said that they could even use a pair of gloves when it gets really windy. If you're driving fast on the game drive and it gets
Yeah.
windy.
I think so, Sin. I don't want to make anybody nervous, but I get cold easily, so I would bring a pair of gloves, mittens, something like that. It's not freezing, but
No.
if you're out and it's 45 degrees and you would be cold, then probably, yes, a pair of gloves is a great idea.
So what about the possibility of rain? Should we bring any rain gear?
You know, I always suggest a light, water resistant, rain, something that you can, some of you have a Singles Travel International windbreaker that you've gotten from us. But I would bring some rain gear. I don't think you'll necessarily bring umbrellas because all of the hotels will have them if you need it. I don't think you're gonna hit much rain in this time of the season. They just had their rainy season, so you know, we choose times when it's better weather because again, this is life. This is a life dream trip. We don't want to, obviously we're not sparing on, like, we're not going at the cheapest time of the year because you want to see everything and you want to be able to get out there and experience that. So you shouldn't have a rainy day, but it's not a bad idea to bring like a little water resistant windbreaker
Okay,
that cuts the wind too. So
okay.
What about insects? I mean, I've got the opportunity to treat a lot of my clothing before I go with Promethean. Are they really bad, or you've been there? I have not.
yes, I'm sorry. I heard that you wanted to treat your clothing with something, but I didn't hear what you were asking, Gordon. I'm sorry.
You think that's advisable, or the insects are really bad that time of
Oh,
year?
okay, I see what you're saying. And are you talking about in terms of the malaria, mosquitoes for malaria?
Yeah,
So they're there. You're not being attacked by them. But they're there. I've been to Africa, I think, I don't know, 7 times. I don't even remember being bit by a mosquito. I always take my anti-malarials, which is another must do for this trip. So I'm sure you've all spoken to a medical professional, hopefully a travel doctor or nurse to prepare, because you do need anti-malarials while you're on safari.
Mhm.
And some of them you take before you leave and some of them you take while you're there. So make sure you get your instructions clear from your provider because there are different forms of it. And I would bring some bug spray because you'll be out and about. So just put some bug spray on, like if you were just going to go, I don't know if you're out camping or if you're at a picnic. I don't think you're imagining that they'll be everywhere biting you all the time, but that's not the case. I get bit by mosquitoes all the time at home. They tend to like certain people. So just bring bug spray, take your anti-malarials, and you don't need nets or anything like that.
okay.
It's in the lodges, I mean, they are sealed. They're screened so that you might not get bugs, but just beware. There's sometimes little critters can get in there, especially like maybe not in Cape Town or in Stellenbosch, but you might see a spider, you might see a little
Creepy
gecko,
crawly.
or you might see a big one. I mean, you know, you're not gonna see the big 5 in your room. You're
Or
not
a big snake. Let's talk about those, Tammy.
Yeah.
it can
Oh,
be,
no.
it can be, it can be, it can be.
Just to add to that, I was talking to Gordon and I are going up to the falls, and I was told that there's a lot more critters up there. And it was recommended. This is a spray that you spray onto your clothes, not your body.
Yeah, pyrethrum.
Yeah.
And yes, and you
Yeah.
soak your clothes before you leave on the trip. You don't even have to take it with you. And you have an automatic bug repellent in your clothes. And apparently it doesn't stink.
Okay,
You
what,
can also buy clothes that are treated with it. You know, you can buy them
Yeah.
on Amazon, like,
Well, it's a lot cheaper to treat them though, because.
no, I know it's true. But there is like one thing I wanted to mention, like I got a pyrethrum treated scarf.
Oh,
that
that's
you
a
can
good
put
idea.
around your head,
Yeah.
around your neck, you know, it could really give you that extra, you know, if you're encountering a place where there's swarming around, just pull that scarf out. and
Yeah.
tuck it right in your pocket.
Where did you get that?
On Amazon, everything on Amazon.
How do you spell, okay, so what is how do you spell that name, Pyretheon?
Oh, Pyrethere, Pyre.
XYZ.
So
put it in the
we're getting to an
chat.
IUM at the end, so
Yeah, so that's great. Share with each other. I have never don't go by my word because I think this is a newer opportunity. I didn't have that in the past. And it could be, I don't know what's involved with treating everything. I like Cindy's idea of the scarf. If you don't want to use bug spray, because obviously sometimes that's harmful for ourselves, right? If it has
Yeah.
something like in it. So, yeah, it could be. I'd like to hear what you guys find when you, thanks for Gordon. He spelled it for us.
Thank you.
oh, is that it? Permethrin? Oh, I had the wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what you were spelling, Cindy, but I was
I
like,
gave I gave it too many syllables.
I'm not the spelling bee champ, I can assure you. So
Okay.
Thank you.
I
Thank
got
you
her.
for that
Google and he
information.
showed me, so no problem.
I'm going to also ask the guys in Africa because let's hear what they, what their advice is. And yeah, okay. Thanks for that.
You know, the truth is that if you're treated for malaria, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's why you have to take it. You really,
Yeah.
you really have to take it. So
Let me see what my other questions are here.
And going back to that commitment form, I also, it wasn't taking in the information. It kept knocking me out when I was trying to put in my travel, my itinerary information for my flight. So I could never get to it. And then when I tried to put in where I was going, I picked it, but I think I deleted it instead. So when I get the drop down, I can't even choose the trip.
okay. So Kel, what I'll do is I'll ask Catherine to check in the morning and she'll contact you and let you know, A, does she have everything? B, if not,
Okay.
what she needs, and you can just give it to her over the phone or via
Perfect.
email, okay?
Can you have her do that for me too?
Yeah.
I was having some challenges.
Is that Linda?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. No problem. No problem.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
And I wanted, sorry, I just did all these things. It was said it was mandatory to have travel insurance. Now, again, I haven't traveled a lot, and at least going this far. And is it mandatory that we have to have
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, especially to Africa and all those little flights we have in between.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
many.
Do I have it, Tammy? Can you please check?
I don't think, yeah, I had them check for us, Linda, unless you did something different. I don't think we do.
I don't think so.
Well, what we do, we can check is if we send you a link to purchase it.
Somebody did, yeah.
When you purchase it, we get a copy of the confirmation. So Catherine keeps a record of those so she can check to see if we have the record in your order. And if it's
Mhm.
not, she'll send you another quote.
But you can
You-
also get it from, for instance, my Insurance USA, I can go through them and get it. So you can actually, you don't have to
Right.
use that one. It's certainly easier,
Mm.
but it's available elsewhere.
Is it expensive? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too.
It's a lot cheaper than being med flighted out of Africa.
Thank
Put it
you.
that way.
Yeah.
So,
The
or
two things I
stuck
look
in a
for on it-
hospital where your insurance will not cover you because you're international. So it
Yeah.
is imperative.
It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah,
The
I
three
heard
things
that.
you want to look for are, one, get you medical coverage, and I got it at $500,000, okay? And make sure it's primary,
Yes.
okay?
So
Because
the
if
quote
it's
that we
secondary,
send
they're
you-
gonna, what, Tammy?
Quick interruption. The quote that we send you is primary.
Mhm.
We are going to send you one that covers $1 million in emergency airlift.
Right.
Because that's what I believe is going to be the best for you, because 500,000 probably won't cover in a life-threatening scenario where you have to be airlifted to save your life. Okay, because otherwise, what's the point? They have good health care in Africa. Some places they don't. But when you're in the northern part, when you're up in the safari portion, there isn't a hospital right there, so airlift. But I'm just talking about if you had a head trauma or something that was life threatening, they're going to send in a medevac. It's going to be between 500,000 and $1 million, and they want cash. And so Kimberly's exactly right. I don't want to scare you. Anyway, you asked about the price. It's roughly 10% of the cost of your trip. The younger you are, the less expensive it is. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
the more
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
I'm
the
so
older we
cheap.
get, we're more vulnerable. And so, insurance companies, I am taping this, they're like casinos, they never lose, right? So, but if you need it, yeah, Kimberly's laughing. If you need it, you won't be sorry. Anybody that ever had an incident takes it. I take it. I'm in the business, but you know what? I didn't take it until probably 6 or 7 years ago. Now I buy it all the time because you never know what's going to happen. So and in this case, in order to take this trip, it's mandatory with us. You've got to have
Okay.
insurance.
Well, I
You've
think,
got-
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
So when Catherine talks to you, so I heard that Kelly and Linda, you want me to check on your fit and willing, and I will also check to see if you did the insurance, correct?
I did
Mhm.
email and got a response
Right.
from Catherine about that. I just sent general questions that I'm asking tonight and she responded. So I think, Linda, I can forward what she sent to me.
Okay.
Okay, that'll be great. Thank you.
So I thought I heard somebody ask me to have Catherine check for them, but I don't want to overlook. Did somebody else want me to have her check?
Can you check for me?
Sure, Jode. Yeah, you got it.
Hey, Kim, I compared AIG's travel insurance to what I could get from USAA. So I ran through all the coverages and came out, and AIG was competitive. I was kind of surprised. I expected USAA to be able to come up with something for me that was better. So
I'll probably just go with them because that's the one you use, right? The AIG.
yeah. They're
Right, we use AIG, yes. But Kim's right. Anything is okay. You don't have to buy it from us. We're not saying that. And Gordon was giving a good tip also. If it's primary, sometimes, so you guys all buy house insurance and car insurance, and it's all a matter of what's included. So let's say you don't have a renter's rider on your car insurance and your car has an accident, and all of a sudden you found out your agent, you don't have the rider on there, so you don't get a rental car, right? So, but you wanted the cheapest. So you said, give me the least expensive policy I can get that covers me if I get hurt. So there's collision and damage, and then there's the renters. And so there's, I know this, my dad sold insurance for 40 years, but insurance is the price is directly related to what's included in it. So just read the find, ask them for the full policy. There's usually bullet points of what the highlight is of what is included. It'll give you how much for each incident. And then you can go into the paragraphs themselves and read the specific information so that you are, fully informed. But first person means that, so let's say, for example, we do AIG Travel Guard, and we give you the premium policy. So if you make a claim and you submit all your paperwork and you are filing a claim for a valid reason or a covered reason, they'll pay you in 30 days. If you have a policy that's secondary, then whatever your incident is, they will have you go to that first insurance company to make your claim. So let's say you lost luggage, and then you have a secondary. They would say, go to your homeowners first, make the claim on your homeowners, and whatever you don't get covered on your homeowners, we will then cover. Or if you have another medical policy, go there first, see what they pay for you, and then we'll pay the difference. So it takes longer and it can be it's frustrating. And then you have to go to two places. So for maybe 3% more, you take a primary policy and then it's one stop shop, right? And then the other thing about AIG, and again, I'm not trying to endorse, but I just will tell you that because we know so much and we've seen so many things, if you need help, I'm personally the one that does it. I'll go to bat for you. I get on the phone. I'm like, guys, we have been doing business a long time. This is Manya. She made the claim. What's going on? Why aren't you, what's happening here? Right. So we will advocate for you. I can't cover a non-covered reason, but you're not going to get jacked around. And I have heard other members say, oh yeah, that my policy didn't cover me. So I don't know all the ins and outs, and I'm not trying to say that's a blanket or endorse. I'm just saying that it's one extra level of security that, you know, we will definitely advocate for you if there's any issue. Plus, you guys all know you have my cell phone number. So while you're traveling, you've got Chris's and Gordon's, not Gordon Gailey, but Gordon from Africa. We have two Gordons.
Gordon Turner.
Yes. And two Kimberlys, because I have a Kimberly and there's Kimberly here. So that made it super interesting for this trip. But you all have my cell phone number. It's in the letter. Put it in your cell phones before you go so that on the way, I'm the 24/7 guy. So if you have any delay or anything that comes up, just text me. And then I'll give you the number now. It's 815, and this is going on the internet, 715-6998. Put me in even after you come back from the trip. If you ever need anything, many of you already have it. You know you can text me and ask any questions. So, but more importantly, I want to be there for you for this long journey over. And by the way, Gordon from Africa and I were on WhatsApp within minutes of each other all the time. So he will let me know if anything happens to any of you there. And we work together as a tag team. So we just want to make sure that you're safe and that you have a great trip. And if anything does happen, let us get in there and help mitigate and make the best of it. So so get your insurance. And I heard that Jody, you want to follow up. If anybody else needs that, just call. Catherine is the one that issues all the insurance, so she knows a lot more about me than giving the quotes and everything, or email service@singlestravelintl.com. And both Kim, I mean, I hope you guys experience that. Do you feel like Kim and Catherine get back to you quickly on the service desk or the help?
Yeah.
center?
I emailed the service desk, I think Sunday, and she got right back today.
Terrific. Okay, that's great. Yeah, so what I'm saying is if you email me, you're not gonna get an answer as quickly as those two. So they're a great team. But if you text me, I'm right on it. So
Okay.
So Tammy, the letter that you're talking about that was sent, so my trip was booked with Andy. Do you think that the letter, are you talking about a hard letter or an email letter?
so let me go there then. If you guys, I hear most of the questions being covered, but if you want to pop in, don't worry about it. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you. Everybody received an email about, I think it was on Thursday, but it's also right here on the trip page under your travel documents. Can you guys all see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, so I'm on the South Africa trip page is what it looks like at the top. And then you just go to this nav bar on the left and you click on your travel documents, and then this PDF pops up. And this has everything in it that we're talking about so far tonight in the meeting.
Okay.
It
I've
is-
seen, yeah. Okay, I thought it was something else because the numbers that you were talking about, phone numbers, et cetera, I never saw that, but maybe I missed it.
Okay, so here is right in the first paragraph. This is our
Okay.
number. You can hit during the day, you can call our number toll free and hit 0. But here's Gordon. and
Okay.
this is WhatsApp number, and this is Chris's, and it's also their WhatsApp. So another important point for everybody is to download WhatsApp. And in this document here, we tell you how to download it and to get started. WhatsApp is a program on your phone that allows you to text and make phone calls while you're on a Wi-Fi connection. So you're not having to use your own phone system, which most of the companies these days charge $10 a day as a program while you use it. So it's on demand. So if you open up your roaming and you use your phone, you get a 24-hour usage for approximately $10. And if you turn your airplane mode back on before that 24 hours is up, then you're not going to get charged until you open up again, and then you get another 24 hours. But let's say you didn't, you have access to Wi-Fi and you want to connect with either Chris or Gordon or me, because that's my WhatsApp number too. You're able to go into WhatsApp, but first you have to have us as a contact in your phone. And then you open up WhatsApp and you find us, and then you can either call, you can actually make phone calls as well as texting. So it's quite useful. It's free. And let me say the most important thing, it's free if you're on a Wi-Fi network. So it could be in your hotel, it could be at the airport when you arrive. And so we recommend that for everybody. And you also may share, now this is a land trip, so if you share each other's numbers while you're on the trip, you'll be able to WhatsApp message each other as long as you have Wi-Fi within the hotel or the lodges and so on. So it's nice to be able to communicate with each other. All right, so I'm going to talk about what's on the checklist to get ready. We probably covered most of this already. You must have a valid passport for 6 months after the return date. So you're coming back, most of you on May 22nd. I know some of you are extending longer, but add 6 months to that date and check your passport and make sure it is valid for 6 months after that. So it should be good until at least the end of November of 23. We talked about travel insurance. We touched on inoculations and medicines for South Africa, and there's a paragraph to accompany each of these things in the checklist. Absolutely talk to your doctor. You probably already have at this point. Everybody knows what their own personal medical situation is, and that's why it's important to talk to a doctor who knows you, or at least that you could share any conditions so that they prescribe the right precautionary remedies for you while you're in South Africa. And then we have a form. It's just called our fit and willing to travel commitment. It is a document for us to help gather your pertinent information because Gordon is going to be meeting you, or Chris, at the airport. They'll look for you at the airport. So on that subject, I'm going to go down to that section because I want everybody to verify the information in our air list. And so if it's not correct, and I'm going slowly so I don't give everybody seasickness here or motion sickness. But okay, so this talks about flights. If you have, I'll talk about delayed or anything. This here, the arrival and the departure flights. Please check the date of arrival for me. For example, this is Andrea. The arrival date here, I'm sorry, it's 12th of May. She's getting it at 5:50 p.m. Please double check the gold columns for us. And if it's not correct, email service@singlestravelintl.com immediately so that we are able to update it. We took this from the fit and willing forms that you filled out. And obviously I know that, Linda, we're going to get back to you guys tomorrow. Catherine will contact you because I see that there are a couple that haven't been filled out. But if your information, if you please check it for us and make sure that it's correct, because this is how we're going to arrange your transfers to arrive. And if you had an extra hotel night, we booked an extra hotel night. So just this one little bit, if you could make sure that it's correct, we'd really appreciate it. When you get to Cape Town, if your bags are missing, you must fill out a lost baggage claim report when you get to the airport. Sometimes it might seem busy or you're tired. I think almost everybody here has maybe lost the bag, unfortunately, but it's imminent that you fill out that form and get a copy. You'll get a claim number, which is usually the 2-letter code of the airline plus 6 characters, 6 digits. You're going to share that with Chris or Gordon so that they can help with the recovery. They will let us know on our team too, and we contact if it's a US company, we'll contact them during US hours, business hours, so that we can help you recover that bag. And that code will be important for us to know how to track it. So that's fingers crossed that you won't have to experience that at all. And that would be just coming into Cape Town. Yes, is there a question?
I just wanted to let you know, Tammy, that I'm coming in at 11:05 a.m. on the 12th. I may have filled out my form wrong.
Yeah, and that's okay, Manya. That's why I make a deal about this, because sometimes it happens, you know, it's, so I'll let, them know, but is the rest of this correct? You're coming from Doha to Cape Town?
Yep.
You
Yep.
arrive on the 12th at 11:05 a.m. And is this Qatar 1369 correct?
QR 1369 is my final, and I think there's just a whole lot of PM and AMs. The departure time 2:20, that's 2:20 AM. So that's why I'm getting it at 11:05 AM.
Thank you. And so if everybody would do that and email service@singlestravelintl.com to let them know, that would be great. Manya, I'll take note of yours, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. And then another page, you know, sometimes there's all different ways to do this, but I would just recommend maybe take a picture of this page. So you have the hotel information, even though they're meeting you at the airport, it's not a bad idea to know where you're going. I've gotten calls sometimes from people. I don't even know what hotel I'm going. I'm at the airport. Where am I staying? So it happens. It's okay. There's still a lot to think about, and that's what we're here for. But I'm recommending that to you today. So put my number in your phone, put Gordon's, put Chris's, and then have the name of the hotel that you're going to be going to when you first arrive into Cape Town. So those are your first points of contact. All right, so just again, go through everything that's here. Oh, and one last final note is that you do need to show proof of COVID vax to get into South Africa. So I know everybody's good on that, but I know one last time, take a copy of it so it's in your phone. You have a picture. And I'm still going to recommend that you bring your original with you just in case. And then lastly, I'm just going to talk about the, by the way, the Post Hotel is just for a couple of the members on the trip that we have that in there. Some of you have additional information and arrangements that we made for you, and we've been in contact with you separately. For those of you going to Victoria Falls, you will have to purchase a visa when you get up to Zambia, and it's cash only USD. So be sure you have $50 in cash. Doesn't have to be a $50 bill, but it should be relatively new bills, right? That's how all the other countries deal with US currency. They want to see nice, crisp, new dollars instead of kind of tattered old ones, because sometimes they're not able to reuse them. Someone else in their economy may not take that currency. So if you show up with some tattered old bills, when you go, just go to the bank and get money before you go, and ask your banker if any of the bills are looking kind of old or, you know, yucky, grungy, ask them to trade out for newer bills. They'll do it.
Tammy, how much would you recommend that we take with us?
So for my rule of thumb, I typically, there's so much included in this. So you may not even need what I'm going to suggest, but I personally like to do $500. I take 500 US. I usually change about 200 to 300 when I get to the country I'm going. That's only because I'm a busy person. I don't have time to go to the bank before I go. But for those of you who do, you may want to get some South African Rand from your local bank before you go. You do have to, we have 2 weeks to go. You'd have time. You do have to usually order it in advance. Most banks don't have that on account, but they might. So if you want to bring a couple hundred from your local bank, great. I take 500 USD. I change 200 to 300 when I get there, depending on the program. I'm not a big shopper either. So I don't have all of my money exchanged. In case I don't spend it, I don't have to convert it back. But if I need more, I can always convert it. And then I bring 2 cards. I bring a non-American Express, because most places don't take American Express. That's my favorite card though, by the way. But I would bring a Visa or a MasterCard, and I bring my ATM card so that I have all my bases covered. So I've got enough cash I've got local currency, I have USD, and then I bring my 2 credit cards. And one of them is a debit card in case I need to withdraw from a bank for an emergency. I don't get hung up on the rates of exchange because, again, if I'm only exchanging $300 to $500, a couple of percentage points isn't going to make a big difference. So I usually get it in country though. When I land, by the time you're picking up your luggage, there are exchange banks always
Okay.
with the baggage claim of any airport internationally. So that's usually where I do my money.
So get it in country when you land.
Yes,
Okay.
you get it when you land in Cape Town.
And generally, can we use credit cards? Do they
Yes.
take,
Yes,
do you
absolutely.
think American Express is the best one to bring?
No, not at all.
No.
So I would bring
Okay.
a non-American Express card. I know I might have messed you up because I said that's my favorite card. I like American Express, but for foreign countries, not every vendor takes American Express. So you're better
Yeah.
off with Visa or MasterCard, and try to bring one that doesn't have foreign exchange fees. Like I use the American Airlines World Platinum, but there are many out there. You probably all already have one that you can use.
So I called my credit card companies um, that I'm going to use today, letting them know I'm traveling international. Some don't care, some do. But I found out that the one that I was going to use, it does charge a fee.
Oh,
So it's
yeah,
good to
I
find out. The
know.
other one did not. So it's something to look at and check into.
Exactly.
Okay.
Great one. Great advice. So also the electrical current is different there. And so if anybody needs, the hotels will have blow dryers. But if anybody uses a curling iron or any other kind of hair
Mm.
device, they usually have razor plugs for the gents, but I mean, maybe use a, regular razor. A lot of our electrical equipment, the new computers, the new laptops, they have the actual AC plug converts for you, but you would have to check that first. So I would get from yourself you need an adapter and a converter. And I'll explain that. So the adapter is so that you are able to adapt your 2 flat American prongs to the kind of wall plug that is in Africa, which is 3 points. You see in our letter here, it's got 3 points. Let me click on this view here to show you what it looks like. So this is what their wall looks like. If you're going to plug your device into the wall, you need this 3-pronged thing here, right? So this is what it looks like over here.
On the left, okay.
Correct. And so you're going to want to, on this side of the device, you see on the bottom here, you've got the 2 flat prongs like right in the middle. See here, I don't know if you can see my little thing.
Yeah, I see it where it says PAT. Yeah.
Right, that's where you would put our 2 flat prongs in. However, that's only converting the actual device, right? So you can plug your 2 prongs into this device that will go into their wall, but they have 220. We're only 110, so that's a double electrical volt. So if it's a curling iron or a flat iron or a blow dryer or something, your device is going to burn up because the electrical power is too strong. So in that case, you also have to have a converter that steps down the electrical current. So when you purchase one of these, make sure that it's an adapter converter.
Thank you. I have something when I went to Spain and then I went to Morocco and Tanzania. And it's something that I could use, like, it's got different ones where it can be Japan, it could be in parts of Africa and so forth.
So here's what you would do. Look at it and see if you've got, first of all, so do you see this one? I just noticed the one that we gave you guys here is 749, but the problem is, do you see it says this does not convert the voltage from 110 to 220 and vice versa. So you would need to have an adapter and a converter. So there are devices that are created for multi-countries. So you can look at it and see if it has the 3 prongs like this. And sometimes they delineate on the actual device. It'll have like a little raised thing, like this says PAT, that's patent pending, I guess, or patented, but it might have the country in it or something in your literature that tells you what country.
Mhm.
But it's got to look like this in order to fit. Otherwise, you get there and you know, putting the round peg into a square hole.
Okay, so I have a question. So this device, you showed the front side and the back side, and it is not both an adapter and converter?
No, that's not. So you need something that converts electricity from 220 to 110. And so imagine if you buy a hair dryer in South Africa, it would have the three. So ours has the two flat prongs and we just plug it into the wall, right? But if you bought a hair dryer in South Africa, it would have three prongs on it and it would plug right into their wall. So if you bring a US hair dryer with the two flat prongs and you try to plug it into the wall, it won't fit because it needs the three prongs.
Okay.
But you said the hotels have the hair dryers there, right?
Yeah, the hotel should have hair dryers. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, in one of the meetings we had way back when we signed up for this, you had sent a link for a converter of some sort at one point.
You know what, it can be. And I think that what I'll do tonight after the meeting is find one that's a converter adapter. And if you want to purchase that one, you can do that. It's just, I'm just going to look on Amazon. I'm going to Google
Yeah,
adapter.
you said
Okay.
Amazon. It was an
And I'll
Amazon.
make it easy and send it to you guys after the meeting. So can kind of take a
Okay,
look
thank
at
you.
what you should have. If you want to shop around, you can do that, but at least you'll know
Yeah.
what's going to work for you.
I just wanted to add, this is Cindy, I just wanted to add something might help, because I was going through this a couple weeks ago. And I was reading up a lot of different sites about it, and they said, check your new like flat iron, or if you have a newer blow dryer, a lot of them are good for 110 to 240.
That's
So you
right.
don't need a converter.
And it'll
So I
stay
checked
it.
my flat iron and but you always need the adapter for sure. But it's really hard to find a converter adapter group on Amazon. I searched and searched.
I'll
And
find
so,
one for you guys. But you
but you might not
consider
need the
that?
converter. You know, like if you look at, like I looked at my flat iron, it's 110 to 240, so you don't need a converter for it.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was saying. Some of the newer devices already have that converter
Yeah.
in.
And it's probably if you
But
got
it's
it
gotta
within the
be
last
labeled.
4 or 5 years even.
Right, Sin, and it's got to be labeled. If it doesn't say that on the device, then it doesn't do it, right? It's got
Right. Then it's the old fashioned American type, yeah.
Yeah, good one. Yes, this is getting easier.
Well, it took me, I haven't been able to use my cell phone the first 3 trips I was on, but I'm learning slowly.
Yes, little by little, little by little. Well, guys, I know we're over 9. I hope I'm not keeping anybody. And Kimberly, I know you had an event. If you have to peel off, I understand. If anybody wants to stay and has more questions, I'm willing to stay on. So I just wanted to let you know that we're past 9 o'clock.
Okay, well, thank you.
Hey,
I'm
Tammy,
gonna
let's
go,
talk
'cause I
about the
just-
good stuff. Let's talk about food.
Okay.
I was gonna
You
say,
wanna
tell us
talk
about
about
the BOMA
food?
dinner.
I'm done for the night, so I can talk about food.
Okay. Did we make you miss your dinner? Is that why?
Oh, no. It was a
Okay.
reception.
All
I'm
right.
trust me, I'm good.
All right, great. What would you like to, do you have a question or?
No, just kind of what should we expect? So obviously these are nice places, but just kind of end on a high note.
Yeah, so the food is going to be divine. The wine, you're going to have wine included with all your dinners. Chris is an expert on it. You're going to love Chris. He's an amazing guide and he's been, he loves what he does. And the food and the wine, I think, is close to heart for him too. So you can expect I'm not going to say Michelin star, but you're going to have delicious, unique, tasty, abundant, diverse menus. Now, by the way, they eat everything in Africa. Sorry to tell you guys that. You would be able to, you can eat, they eat everything.
Like bugs.
No, not bugs, but they eat all the major, not lion necessarily, but they eat most of the big animals.
Oh.
So, yes, you may see it on the menu, so don't freak out because it's Africa. They have plenty. That's what they have.
Yeah.
They eat. They're not
Endangered species?
No, no,
Okay,
no, not endangered. Good point,
all
though.
right.
Like kudu, you're gonna see kudu and different, all the Bambi, the versions of Bambi, they eat all that. And so anyway, I live in Florida, we eat alligator. There's just things that might be kind of odd for you, but you're going to, and in the menus will be, you don't have to, it's, how sometimes when you travel with a group, everybody has to eat the same thing. It's not that way. It's elegant, and it's whatever you feel like eating will be available to you. If you have any dietary, that's one of the things to put in the fit and willing. If you have a dietary restriction, we would have liked to know that. We'll share that with Chris. And
Could you say a little bit about the Boma dinners? Are there two of them, and are they really like outside in the sand?
I hate to, I'm a surprise person. Now I'm not,
Oh,
you don't
okay.
have to prepare
Yes.
anything for the Boma. I feel like it's something that is a nice surprise.
Yeah.
So if I describe it too much, I mean, I'd like you guys to be delighted. Like, I want your eyes to be like, oh my God, this is so amazing. So I don't want to tell you, but you don't have to do anything to prepare for it. So
Okay.
and here's something about the lodge is, at least because earlier we talked about the animals being wild, you will probably hear in your initial briefing when you get there that you are not able to just walk from the main lodge to your room by yourself ever. They have to escort you, and they will probably have a weapon on them because it's you're the guest. Those
Yeah.
animals in South Africa, they are,
We're in the zoo and the animals are observing
yeah,
us.
you guys are, and yeah, like this.
Yes.
So, yeah, so it's definitely, and the Boma will be outdoors, and so weather prevailing, it'll just be a beautiful night. And there's so many other surprises. I'm not going to tell you. I just want you guys to enjoy it, come home and say, oh my God, that was great. Give a great review if you feel like our team did what we were supposed to do, and if it was life changing, just tell that story. So again, that next single person, again, whether it's with us or just anybody, they just get out there, because that's all our team cares about at the end of the day, is that our single members, we get you guys to become fearless world travelers. We want to build your travel muscles. We want to help you grow and help you, be more confident and see the world and be able to have the courage to take those next steps. So that your story is going to resonate with someone else out there who's just sitting going, I don't know, I want to do it, but. So lots of buts. And so you guys have already taken the steps. So way to go, and just have a great time and enjoy the surprises.
Definitely.
Thank you. I'm looking forward.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It
And
is.
we do need to bring an outfit to kind of dress up and go to some nice restaurants. Is that correct?
Yeah, you don't have to dress nicely. I mean, just everything that you picture about people in safari gear, it's safari gear, right? So
Okay, so no sport
Yeah.
coat, no button-down white shirt, nothing like that.
no
Okay,
way, no
Cool.
way, Gordon. No.
Well,
Just,
what
Good.
about in Cape Town? Cape Town's not safari gear, is it?
no, but I mean, people, that's where they start. It's like when you go to like Machu Picchu, right? Everybody starts in Quito first, and then they go to Cusco, and so everybody's like preparing for that safari portion. So yes, it's a major metropolitan city. You guys are going to go to some nice restaurants. If you want to wear something, what we might call casual elegant, if you want to wear a blouse and a slack, or if you want to wear a little skirt, that's totally fine. You're welcome to do it, and you might even go out in Cape Town because it's safe to do that. Chris will help you, but you don't have to be dressed. So I mean, for Gordon to bring a sport coat, he doesn't have to do that. Where are you gonna put it, Gordon?
I'm wearing that duffel bag. I don't know.
That's the question. So, and
I'm
girls,
gonna practice packing this week and see what I can do. I'm like,
and
oh,
Gordon, yes, if you miss your bag, you're in trouble because you're gonna have to be borrowing clothes from the girls on the trip. I'm sure Chris will take care of it. Yeah, so
You're gonna be the popular guy, Gordon.
yeah, am I the only guy on the trip?
Well, you've got Chris.
Lucky
I got Chris.
you.
Oh, wow. Well, hey, this is something else.
And it's just us, right? I mean, us plus I think one person. That's it. Wow.
Yeah, one girl, Andy.
Nice,
So,
yeah.
yeah, if you guys, you know, please welcome her when you run into her, send her a message, say sorry
Mhm.
we missed you and can't wait to meet you. And I'm going to give her the recording of tonight's event so she can meet you guys.
Tammy, when we go into the Stellenbosch region, is there going to be a way that we can buy wine or have it shipped, or there's a contact back over here that we can use?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
yes, and yes, yes. And again, like I said, Chris is, you know, he's a wine drinker. You're gonna taste, and you know, boy, that I remember the first time I went to South Africa. I'm a Chard drinker, and their Chards weren't too mature yet, right? But the vines. So you part of the history of South Africa, what you'll learn if you haven't done some research yourself, but the French colonized South Africa for like 100 years before the Dutch. So the Huguenots were there first, and they brought their vines from France. So the wine in South Africa
Wow.
originates from French vine,
Mm.
much of it. So it's really good wine, but it wasn't really, anyway, I'm paraphrasing right now. So just learn when you get over there. But some of their wine types weren't as mature as others. But I'm talking that my first time there was like 25 years ago. So it's pretty delicious right now. There's a lot of great varieties, and you'll enjoy it. And Chris will help you understand whether it's better to ship it or if there's a distributor in the US that you can get the wine from.
Could I ask one like practical question? When we're away from the lodge and we're in Stellenbosch and Cape Town, and we're going out to restaurants, you know, for dinners that aren't not included, can we, do they take US dollars or do we have to pay in Rand?
Yes, you're gonna have to pay in Rand. Yeah.
And will they put it on the credit card?
Yeah, so put
You
it
don't
in your
wanna fool
credit
with
card
Rand?
in Rand. And so that's why we were saying, if you have a card that doesn't charge international fees.
But I do, I have that card, but what I was wondering is, you know, will I be able to put it on a credit card or
Yes.
or won't they do that when we do our group, when we go out for dinner?
Yeah,
Will
if
they,
you go
will they
out by
split it and put it
yourself.
on different cards, that kind of thing, or
Yes,
no?
yes, 100%. You know what's really cool too? Like I have all this old tour leader lore because I've been doing this before even cell phones, right? So I have a lot of some of my old systems. And one of them was to go to a restaurant and make sure they'll do separate checks. But nowadays, a lot of them have the handheld. So all you have to do is say, oh, I had the, you know, I had the roast beef and I had this and, you know, 3 glasses of wine. They put your card and they charge you. Then they go to the next person. So it's no problem. And what'll happen since, so if your bill is, I'm just making this up, let's say it's 4,000 Rand. Let's say I didn't look at the exchange rate, so I'm not doing it right. So it's 4,000 Rand, let's say that's $30. So you'll charge 4,000 Rands in South Africa. When you get your credit card bill, it'll show $30.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I actually usually do that.
Yeah.
When
it's
I'm
quite
on other places in Europe, I just put it on my card and whatever it is,
Right.
whatever.
It'll be the same.
Whatever.
It'll be the same.
And they always translate it to the right amount, possible, you know, so.
Hey, Tammy, is Amex a big problem there? Do they not really take it much?
So the thing about American Express is, you know, a lot of vendors don't take it because they charge extra fees to process
yeah.
transactions. So even though, even at my company, we pay more, but I like American Express, I'm like, hey, American Express people have all the money. So why would you not take a card that represents a good portion of the people that are the spenders? That's the way I feel about it. And I got a platinum this year. I won't waste your time on that, but if anybody wants to know about it, I was cheap.
Well, I have one,
Right.
yeah.
But
It's worth
that
it.
$695 paid off in spades this year with all the benefits that I got. So
Clear's free, $200 airline credit. I mean, it's
Love
it's
it.
it's the bomb. But yeah,
Well,
I just
some
do it
vendors don't
because
take
the
it.
dispute, if you ever have a dispute, Amex is the bomb. But you go to these other credit card companies and they yank you through flaming hoops for months.
And
And,
that hurts.
yeah.
So you know what? Some vendors will take it, Gordon. I just don't, you know, I wouldn't know which ones are going to take it and which aren't. So if you bring your Amex, just bring an alternate.
Yeah, I don't have an alternate. That's why I was asking. I'm gonna have
I
to get one
see.
pretty quick. I've got a debit card. I don't know if that'll work. Hell, I never use
Yeah.
that thing. But
But
you
or
know,
just bring, you know, like I said, bring 500 in
I'll
cash.
bring a bunch of money. That's
Yeah,
that'll
I
be
mean,
fine.
And I
Yeah.
know this is gonna sound, maybe, I don't wanna sound arrogant, but I mean, worst case, if something happened and you lost 500, it's not gonna kill anybody.
no.
If you don't have an alternative card, I'd say then bring cash.
All right.
So Tammy, I have a quick question on the itinerary. It looks like most of the safaris where we're actually doing the, what do they call them, the game drives or something? That's at the end? Is that more of them are at the end of the trip?
Yeah, all the game drives. So when you guys finish the wine country, you'll drive back to Cape Town and then you fly up to Skakusa.
Yeah.
And that's where the lodge is, and you're gonna be there for 3 nights. So all of your game drives are at the end. It's just that last section, which is, we save the best for last.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So your last 3 days are, it's all safari. It's safari.
Yeah.
breakfast, You know, you will come home after the morning drive, have breakfast, and then free time, which is sometimes nap time.
Yeah.
Or you might do like a little bush walk if the weather's nice. One of the rangers might take you guys out on a little walk, of course, protected because they, they're armed, but you can do that. They teach you how they look for animals. They teach you about the terrain and different things like that. So they'll fill the time for you if you want it. There's a swimming pool. If it's warm enough, you can swim. Just, total chill time. And you'll have lunch. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner daily at the lodge.
Is the swimming pool, when you said we can't walk from the main lodge to our room without an escort, are we sleeping in the main lodge?
You're gonna sleep in, so the lodge is gonna have multiple sections. And I don't know where your guys' rooms are right now, but it won't matter because you'll have escorts. If you need to go to your room, like after dinner, somebody will take you. There's always somebody to walk you to and fro. And in the
Okay.
middle of the night, you're not leaving your room. You'll stay there, but there's a phone if you need to contact anybody. So it's not like you'll be, stranded.
Okay, thanks.
I don't know if I answered your question. Did I?
Well, if we don't know exactly where the rooms are, I take it that there's like a main lodge that has the dining area and maybe some of the rooms in it. And that's where the swimming pool is? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the room configuration. You know what, Cindy? I haven't been at Jack myself.
Okay.
Some other lodges, and usually like there's a main house and then the rooms are separate. But
Mhm.
Jack might have main lodge rooms, and I just don't know where we are. I'm sorry to tell you that. But I
No,
do.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
It might be fun to have does the escort have a gun with them too?
yeah, they pretty much have a weapon.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That will be this is gonna all be so very different from the norm.
That's
It'll
right.
be
And
really-
it's like a captain of the boat. So you have to pay attention to what the captain says because they're local. They know
Absolutely.
what they're doing. We're
It's
doing
great
it
that
for-
they'll be protecting us. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So any more questions?
I'm gonna look at my list one more time.
So a quick question. I'm gonna try to get a hold of Catherine tomorrow since she reached out to me. She's in the East Coast, right?
Yes, she
You guys
is.
are both, okay.
Tammy, the only other question I had, probably I need to just ping Gordon Turner, is, where am I really going to stay whenever I get there on the night? It says waterfront hotel.
Yeah.
I can't find anything in Cape Town called waterfront hotels. So.
It's no, it's the name of the hotel is the same. It's the same one that everybody's staying at, which is
Oh, it's the same one, the Commodore. Yeah, okay.
the Commodore Hotel.
All
Yeah,
right, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
yeah.
Okay. And the only other thing is he wants me to leave my luggage somewhere before I go, I don't know, to the last thing. And I just want to make sure I can get it back or it's going to meet me.
Yes,
You
will. And again, these guys are top
They
notch.
know what they're doing, but I'm just going like, I'm a little fadey on that. So what's
I
up?
know. So you know what you can do? The minute you get there, talk to him about it, get
Yeah, I will.
resolved, feel comfortable. He's going to tell you literally exactly what's going to happen so you can be resolved. You don't want to have to think about that the whole time because that happens to us. We do that. So get resolution right away. He'll
Yeah,
tell you.
I got to do that because it creates noise.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be fun and
Me
I'm
too.
excited.
gonna be a
Glad to
So
blast.
meet all of you
excited.
tonight. We're gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
Guys are really, this is such a special trip. So again, thanks for doing it with us. We really appreciate it. Just have fun. Any questions that come up between now and then, I've got my checklist of things to follow up with. Kelly, I will tell Catherine to call you tomorrow, or she'll contact Linda. We'll reach out to Jody. And any other questions, please send them to service@singlestravelintl.com. It's in the letter. Again, I'm available, but sometimes I'm pulled away on different projects and things, and though Kim and Catherine respond same day to you. So that's your best, they're your best resource.
Will do.
Okay. Well,
Wonderful.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Yeah, this was great.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, bye,
Good
guys.
night. Bye.
Bye.